What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? So just I guess for warning here, my girlfriend moved out earlier today, so I'm not feeling super 100%, but I figured the best way to deal with my issues are to help other people first. Just focus on that instead. Side note, NIGHTBOT is working. Should be working. I'm gonna try it out. What up, man? FAQ. Does it work? NIGHTBOT, please. What up, man? Yes! NIGHTBOT works, finally. So there's a bunch of commands. What up, Brian? What up, William? Morgan? How's it going, guys? I forgot I made that video that came out. It's so awkward. How are you guys? How's your Saturday? Dude, it's so weird. Why won't they let the tech industry let you in? It's not. It's you're looking at it the wrong way. You gotta pull the door open yourself. What's next after learning jQuery? Where do you want to go with that? It's amazing progress you made in 1 year. It's so crazy that like today, the 1 year video that I made 1 year ago today, about this time of day, this time this year, well today actually, the girlfriend just moved out like 45 minutes ago. Her mom and her parents and they just came and they just packed everything in a bunch of boxes and just left. And her dad like shook my hand and was like, "Take care," and I was like, well. So try not to just be, you know, a bum about it. Do a live stream. Cutting your hair was a good move. Sure was. I was just trying to see what I look like with long hair. By the way, the number down there, you can call in if you want. Should be working. Trying to learn C#. Do Unity. Unity would be good. jQuery pure JavaScript? I don't know. Do React. Yeah, I'm not really looking for sympathy or anything like that. It's more just like 4 years, you know? 4 years. What's NIGHTBOT? Well, the NIGHTBOT has a lot of commands. So NIGHTBOT has a bunch of commands you can put in the live stream. You're in the interview process for a developer. Only use HTML, CSS, and a little PHP, but it's a good step. Yeah, dude. Go for it. Why don't you get that stamp? How's your ES6 and how often do I use it? How's my ES6? I use whatever. If there's ES6 in it, then yeah. Bootstrap 5 will use vanilla JavaScript. Cool. Ever heard of Wix? Thoughts of project of it going on your portfolio? What? Don't troll. Don't put a Wix project on your Wix is drag and drop. Why don't you just put GoDaddy's website builder on there if you're gonna go that route? By the way, again, if anybody wants to call in, have a chat, I'm sure us and the viewers would enjoy it. You need like ES7 to get by. Dylan Israel has been praising you a lot in his videos. Will we see a collaboration? I don't know. I don't have his email. My email's in the description. I don't know how to talk to him. If he wants to hang out, let's do it. Do you use Premiere or Final Cut? So I don't have a Mac. I'm on Windows. So yeah, what would be chatted about? People got questions. Like you guys are asking questions in the chat. Happy to answer those. But if you want to talk to me and the chat, the 5-second rule for your interview anxiety, and it helped. Interview went well. Nice, Milos. Good stuff, man. Yeah, your body doesn't really know. Good music. Yeah, we're just chilling here. I just put Epidemic Sound on, so we're just gonna be chilling with elevator music. Hey, you're making a REST API with Python and Flask. Yeah, dude. APIs are good. In a programming bootcamp, learning Ruby on Rails and trying to get a job in the city. Much less ROR. Yeah, so look for anything with an MVC. Ruby on Rails and MVC. That's your major. I guess transitional skill there. If you have Ruby on Rails. Oh, we got somebody. We got somebody. All right. Let me mute the music here. What's up, man?
Hello.
How can I help?
How's it going?
It's going, man. How are you? How's Saturday?
So I'm doing good. Basically, I'm in the situation of being in a programming boot camp, Flatiron school, and I'm also working full-time as a software support analyst in Birmingham, Alabama, and I commute 1 hour to work and 1 hour back each day. And the particular situation I'm in is discovered that there aren't many Ruby on Rails positions in the area, and I'm moving with my girlfriend to Mobile, Alabama, because she accepted a position there. And I need to move there around May, and I'm wondering if you have any tips for trying to apply to positions that are, Mobile from where I live is around 4 hours away.
Yeah, so
and
I think the question,
there aren't many Ruby on Rails jobs.
So you posted that in chat, I think, right? You said you were at the boot camp, right? So yeah, so your main skill here is your MVC. So you don't need Ruby on Rails. You just need to find a job that uses an MVC. You would look for something like Angular or Laravel or Symfony 2. In fact, Laravel is the PHP version of Ruby on Rails. It's almost exact copy and paste Ruby on Rails, just with PHP. I think they teach you some JavaScript there, though, right?
Yes. Yeah, they do. Flatiron has JavaScript and React and that sort of thing. And I have had one interview in Mobile that I traveled there to do, and it was for entry-level Java position. Because just object-oriented, just like Ruby and that sort of thing. But that's the only interview I've, really had after applying for a while.
Well, how did it go? What happened to it?
Going to be persistence. It went well, and they asked me. I put off the boot camp for around 2 weeks to just go and study a bunch of Java. So I bought Heads First Java, did a Pluralsight 7-hour course, and did that between the phone call that I got from them and 2 weeks before the interview. So the only thing is that that's not really sustainable if I don't get the position to continue kind of trying to get a job like that, because I am still in the boot camp towards the end of it. And I just, set myself back essentially 2 weeks in the boot camp. So I'm not sure.
So are you looking specifically for all Ruby on Rails? Because Ruby on Rails is, I don't want to say legacy.
No, I'm looking for anything really in programming where I would be.
So you're going to want to put emphasis on your MVC ability. That will be huge. So, I mean, C#'s got MVC. There's a lot of React jobs right now that are hot. React is just a front-end library. But MVC is where you're going to shine. So that's what I would put an emphasis on, regardless of whatever the language is for the job that you have. So you apply to a C# job, it's .NET. Hey, MVC, I did Ruby on Rails. I got this. But
okay, would you say to continue to focus on ROR in the boot camp really, intensively, given that there aren't many jobs in Mobile that focus on ROR, or should I transition my whole mindset and focus on the language and frameworks that are specific to that area, even though I am in the boot camp and paying?
So I would say, luckily, Ruby on Rails is one of these languages, since not a lot of people want to do it. There's actually a lot of remote jobs. So you could look for remote starter jobs for Ruby on Rails. That'd be good. I don't know if you're open to that, or if you get like cabin fever from working remote, but if you go to WeWork remotely right now, there's just like Rails everywhere. It says senior Rails, right? But like whatever that means, just apply anyways.
Yeah.
So many remote Rails jobs.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'd love to do that. I've just heard a lot of people saying that, entry-level people expecting remote jobs is fantasy or, that sort of thing. But I would definitely, I may definitely look into that if you suggest it.
Yes. The people who say entry-level jobs are a fantasy they probably just got rejected, and that was their assumption. But it's happened to so many other people. It happened to me, happened to my friend Katie, happened to, I don't know. That sounds like a projection of insecurity. Like they couldn't make it happen for them, therefore it's impossible, and it's not in any way. So I would go for it remote. Like, look there first. If not, push for MVC in your cover letter.
Okay, well, great advice. I'll definitely give it a go.
All right, man. Cool. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for being the first one of the day.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Have a good one. All right. Answer some more questions here. So, newbie question, what do you mean by NVC? It's MVC. M as in macho. The live stream is slightly out of sync. It's not. It's my Elgato cam. It's an HDMI port, so the audio is slightly behind my DSLR. Okay. Let's put our music back on. This dog steps are so sweet, dude. You like them? They're just wandering around in the back, looking for their mom. What did I miss? ROR is deprecated. Really? Ruby on Rails is a little bit of a legacy language. There are a lot of companies that still use it, but because it's not in their best interest to transition, and they still get the job done. Jim, you don't have to call in. It's all good, dude. We're in chat all the time. We're in Discord. Let's see. How long does it take to get the first job as a front-end developer? That depends on you. Depends on how fast you can get the job. There's no, 3 months, 2 months. Yeah, Ruby on Rails and PHP are both legacy. PHP I would do over Ruby on Rails just because it's more akin to JavaScript syntax. It's like JavaScript with $signs, pretty much. This is a weird song. I'm going to pass on that. You're in your first year of university studying computer science. Anything you need to keep in mind? Things you need to do beyond your studies? Yeah, you need to make a portfolio. 100% portfolio. That's what it's all about, my man. Hey, Captain. Thanks for putting that in the Discord, by the way. Armand, been used the Pomodoro and blown through the boot camp? Dude, I'm glad. Keep it up. Just don't burn out on the Pomodoros. Yeah, if you're here and you enjoy the stream, hit that thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. The stream would appreciate it. Would you suggest becoming a freelance developer out of bootcamp? You're currently doing the U of Coding bootcamp there. So it's not like become a freelance developer. The thing is to be a freelancer, you have to build a reputation. You have to build a little bit of a brand. Because if you get a freelance project, great, but you're gonna, where are you gonna get your next project from? How are you gonna get your next, income? So if you can have that kind of lifestyle where people can like if you have somewhere to stay and you're not worried about being homeless, definitely go for building a freelance, because then if you're a freelance developer first, you build up all these clients that can promote you to an actual job, or maybe you work for a client that knows a guy that's hiring for web developer positions. It's just better to network, except you're getting paid to network and do work. It's just a lot harder. Jim, would I recommend the self-taught route in 2019? I think, Jim, if you can get that schedule right and you can hold that discipline down, I would go self-taught. Some people give up. This is... Are you live streaming every day? I try to live stream every day. Haven't made videos in a few days. When do you consider someone ready for a job on a technical level? There's no when. It's just, it depends on the test too. So if you go to a company and they give you a test, you either get lucky and know some of it, or you don't and you know nothing, or maybe you can figure it out. You just gotta apply and get rejected over and over and over to figure out like the patterns. Have you ever done an on-site big tech company, Google, Facebook, Microsoft? No, I've never done that. Google wants me to come. Google wants me to come for a technical interview, but I'm not interested. Number one, because it's in California and I can't record the interview in California, because in California, both people have to consent to the interview. And in Utah, only one party has to consent, and that party is me. And I would only go for it to record the interview. Greetings from Argentina. What up, man? What do you recommend, React Native or Flutter? I like React Native. The video quality has improved. Thanks. Is making a REST API a good project? No, making an API is a great project. Doesn't fear rejection anymore. Thanks, Josh. Good, man. You don't lose anything you didn't already have. If you get rejected, it's not like someone's taking something from you. Any tips for aspiring YouTubers? Yeah, so everyone, when you don't have a lot of connections yet, all the people that you're going to show your videos are going to be your friends and family. And you know who you want to be, like on the inside, and you know what you're trying to portray. And so when you show somebody a video that doesn't really know you, I mean, like that does know you, they're going to be like, this isn't you. This isn't how you normally talk. Why are you trying so hard? Like, that's what happened to me. You know what I mean? Like, all my friends were like, yeah, this is not you. This is not how you are. But on the inside, you're like, well, this is how I want to be. And so it's really difficult to not, you know, want to take their advice. Or, I mean, to you know, to ignore their advice. Anyways, just post content regardless of viewers or not. That's the main thing. Good material to learn React. Sugar Skull hits me with the $5. Thanks, man. You're curious to know more about game dev jobs and work environment. Hardly any content on YouTube about it, like job interview communities, etc. So game dev jobs in 2019 are very competitive. Game dev jobs in general before 2019 were very competitive. The thing with game dev is, you know, everybody wants to work on their favorite game, but not a lot of people end up getting to do that. Like you end up getting to work for like Kitty Car Racer 5 for the Nintendo DS or something, right? Like that's what most people end up doing in game devs, like the unrelated low-key games. If you want to be a game dev, you have to do it indie style. It's a lot harder, it takes a lot more skills to do it, but if you want to work on a game that you like and, you know, get paid what you think you're worth, you have to do an indie dev. Otherwise, you're going to work 120 hours a week, you're going to get paid $40,000, and there's going to be 13 other people lined up waiting to take that $40,000. Not worth. There's some people. There was a guy who like vlogged his build of a game and then he released it on Steam. That's how he supported himself. I missed some more questions. It's a weird song. Can a software world application have a mock support assignment? Only one party has to consent, and that party is me. In Utah, in the state of Utah, for phone, 40,000 ain't bad. 40,000 is terrible for 120 hours a week, no job security, and to work on a game that you don't like. 40,000 is terrible. 40,000 you can make as an Uber driver. Then you know, like, top 3 things to put on a portfolio for front-end devs. LinkedIn, GitHub, resume, probably Behance or Dribble. You're thinking of making a CRUD app. Yeah, make a CRUD app. How can you make it appealing? It doesn't matter the use case for the apps on your portfolio. You just need to showcase the skills and how everything works. Like, most websites have a login and a logout, and you can update and edit information inside of that. So you need authentication and you need CRUD. And then the use case of the app, that's the person, that's the CEO, that's the business guy who came up with the idea, and he's paying you to build it. So don't worry about the use case. Just worry about knowing the skills. Think you can get an interview with game dev? I could try. I don't know that many people in game dev. Well, actually, that's not true. Someone hit me up on Discord, and he said that he's a recruiter, and he was talking with 343 Industries, so Halo 4 and 5. He was talking with the 343 industry devs, and I asked if I could have an interview with those, and he said, yeah, we'll come up with a list of people who I know and see if we can't get you an interview. So hopefully I can interview some devs at 343 Industries. That'd be a pretty big deal. They're hiring for people to work on Halo 6, Halo Infinite. So if I could interview them, that would be fantastic. Discord link doesn't work. Okay. RIP. I have to fix that, I guess. What are some additional resources to utilize other than free code camp? How do you find project ideas? McWiggins. So you can just Google JavaScript project ideas. I know that's not what you want, but maybe get more specific, like front-end JavaScript project ideas. I've made a few videos on project ideas. But there's so many other ones. There's like the Odin project is a good free resource. There's free courses on Udemy. There's free trials you can sign up for. There's like Code Burst, lots of free stuff, lots of stuff. Can I put some projects instead of work experience in the resume? Yes. Recently started a new job and it's becoming obvious you're not a good fit and you're way over your head. Is it better to resign before things get worse or try to stick it out and risk being let go later? I would stick it out and just be them like, look, this is over my head and I really want to improve. I think you should give me a minute to catch my breath here because I feel a little overwhelmed and like I'm sinking. You don't have to tell people that you got let go. I mean, why would you quit and just not take the money? Like, stick it out as long as you can. Just have an open conversation with them. Like, look, I really think I'm falling behind and I really want to make this, like, go to them before they come to you. People really respect that. Any advice or tips on reaching out to employees that work at companies you like? Yeah, I just messaged them. So Drew Staples, you got to research the people. You got to activate creep mode. If you want to work at a company that you really have your heart set on, you got to go into a little creep mode. You got to start creeping on the employees and like what they like. So that way when you message those people, you can be like, yo, bro, I read your blog, or like, yo, I saw your Twitch stream, or whatever. Everyone has a life outside their job, or most devs do. And they have like a blog or they play games or whatever. You got to just turn on the creep mode a little bit, research these people, try to have a warm conversation rather than a cold conversation. If you can relate to someone, it's a lot easier to break the ice. That'd be my suggestion, Drew. Decided to quit your current job and learn coding, doing this for the last 2 months. What would you recommend to get your first job, especially a remote job? We work remotely, Stack Overflow. You're learning Python, R, and MySQL. I don't know why you're learning R, but you should probably learn JavaScript, HTML, CSS for sure. Hey Josh, I always watch the videos, but you're actually more invested in becoming a professional artist, just like your ideas and attitude. Thanks, man. I like talking business more than I like talking code sometimes. Hey, Stuart Black. Hey Josh, for a portfolio, do you think a 2-month large-scale app would be best, or a bunch of weekly projects? I think a bunch of... I don't think the amount matters if you have like 13 projects. Just pick your best 3, put them on your portfolio. You're not going to get 40 minutes of their time to go through and like look line by line at your code and what they do. I don't. I'm going as fast as I can. Hey Josh, what do you think is a good starting salary for a web dev in NYC? Probably like 80K. NYC is expensive. Do you advise against following tutorials to build applications for a portfolio? You don't want projects to look similar. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, a lot of concepts for applications are the same. So there's adding data, removing data. In web dev, everything is about the DOM and putting and removing data and editing data inside of a database. There's only so much you can do with that. The idea or service you provide is up to the person who has the idea. Don't worry about so much the actual usability of your portfolio. Just make sure the concepts are sound and it's neat. This April will be a full year since you started watching, Josh. Cool. I should make a 1-year anniversary. What is Codecademy not good for? I don't know. Nightbot, please come to my channel. You gotta go to nightbot.com, I think. Someone asked me, how do you negotiate pay without any experience? You just take what they give you. I saw that and it kept going by, so I don't know when I'm going to get to it. But essentially, how do you negotiate pay with no experience? Every company is expecting a counter offer. When I got my first remote job, they offered me $55K. I called them back and I said, hey, can we do 60? And they said, yeah, we could do 60. We were expecting you to ask for 65 though. And I was like, shit. Like, I just got undercut by 10K, and they were willing to pay me an extra 5K a year. You just negotiate, and if they say, I'm sorry, we can't do that, then just say, oh, okay, well, what can you do? Is there any room for negotiation here? So counter, and if they say no, then say, is there any room for negotiation? And if they say no, then it's up to you to take or leave. Josh Baby, is getting into Ruby on Rails a good opportunity for juniors? I mean, PHP and Ruby on Rails are kind of legacy, so you would be going the opposite way of the crowd right now. Everyone's doing React. You accepted that 120K for 140K. You hope you enjoy it. Going from an exciting e-commerce company to a large healthcare company is a huge change. Healthcare is going to be a lot more bureaucratic. 100% going to be a little bit more slow-paced, bureaucratic. But they pay, you know, they pay. So is that good then? It's up to you. You're going to find less jobs, but they're going to be more flexible. Let me get my dogs real quick. Okay. You're attending university and you feel like you don't know anything. We're starting to learn C++. Should you learn something new? Start to do some solo project? Yeah, you need to be building projects. Jim, do you suggest working for a smaller big company if your goal is to move up to a senior dev quickly? Would you be able to do that in both sizes? At a larger company, you're going to hit a lot more dumb roadblocks that are just like, well, you haven't been at the company for 2 years yet, so we're not going to be able to do that. Whereas if you have like 10 people, it's a lot easier to suddenly lift, you know, to showcase an increase of what you're doing. Whereas if you're at a huge company with 3,000 people, you know, they have to do it a lot more systematically. I would go with small company. Thoughts on more structured frameworks like .NET versus Express for Node? I have no thoughts. Just finished your first recruiter interview? Thanks to you, dude. You got this, man. Good stuff. Meeting is locked by host upon trying to call in. Yes, I haven't unlocked it yet. Doritos or Funyuns? Can we do like some chips and salsa? Connor, what's up? I saw it. Hey, how are you, dude? I'm good. Kino, what's up, man? I'm good, dude. Mr. Monkey, how are you? I'm good, man. How are you? How's your guys' Saturday? You guys doing all right? Amin says, hey, I really like what you're doing for your people. They're not my people. You guys are. We're all just people. But I'm just trying to help. Call in doesn't work. Yes, I know. I haven't unlocked the meeting yet. John, what up, man? Financially, it's a great move. You were at 95, so it's a 50% raise. You don't know if you'll like it. Got the popcorn ready. He's live. What up, Gabby? Your friend keeps saying front end is more difficult and logical than back end. What do you think about that? I think your friend is opinionated. What's hard for someone might be different for someone else. We all know this. There's lots of people that are really good at math but don't have a single creative bone in their body. And so being creative is hard for them. Just different sides of your brain. Which framework library should you devote all your time to learning in depth first? None of them. You should use what works. Henry Plays wants a shout out because he has 135 subs. There he goes. John, what up, man? So, John, I'm not trying to like take up your Discord. You have a little upload thing that shows when I upload a video because I'm a YouTuber on there. I'm not trying to spam your Discord because I upload more videos than you, and so like I'm hijacking your Discord. So John, I just wanted to let you know that I'm sorry about that. Please disable the @everyone on your server. Josh, any useful advice for freelaners? You mean freelancers? Any useful advice would be to build that brand. Build that brand, man. Can't do it without a brand. Thanks for all you do. Currently a senior in college, and you're using me as an inspiration to help land a job. Timothy, just hit that apply button, man. Just hit that apply. Love the stuff. Helping me out. Puric, thanks, man. Do you use Docker? No, I use my own. Yeah. You saw the other mods put that in? Yeah. Spent 2 months learning JS, still not feeling confident enough to apply. You don't have to feel confident to click a button. Just click apply. It's like you don't have to do anything yet. All you got to do is apply, and they might call you. Then you can be like, yo, what up? It makes for some good friendly motivation. Yeah, but you have like a full-time 9-to-5 job, and I don't. Well, this is kind of it, but it's not 9-to-5. When do I know that I'm ready to apply? Man, that's a common question. You won't. You have to apply and get rejected a lot. You got offered a job doing data analysis on a 6-month contract. Is that worth dropping out of college for? No, you should take that and go to college. You shouldn't drop out of college for a 6-month contract. You should tell them that you're in college and that you want to take this job. Is there any way that we can make this work on a more flexible schedule? I wouldn't drop out for that. Not a 6-month contract. That's just like a nice little extra padding to your bank account that will again eventually run out because there's no guarantee stuff there. Is it possible to get a remote job nowadays? Any useful websites? Yeah, dude, so it's totally possible. WeWorkRemotely.com, RemoteOK.io, Stack Overflow with the remote button checked. Indeed, put remote there. You have some stuff in the backlog. It'll come up eventually. How do you know when to quit? When to quit what? Quit at what? Quit learning, quit your job. You just got your degree in computer science, no experience. You just decided to go for a bachelor's degree. You feel like you're leaving a career behind. What is that? What do you mean? What's the worst thing that could happen when you apply? They just tell you no, and you spent 5 minutes to apply. Don't freak out. Like Patrick the other day, he was freaking out. Yesterday, he was freaking out because he's like, yo, this company is like ghosting me, and I am pretty 100% sure I didn't get the job. And literally 3 hours later, he messaged me, hey, we want to bring you in next week for like a 3-hour interview. When can you come? And I was like, see, dude, you got it. Like, when you're applying for jobs, you have to understand the people that are interviewing you actually have a day job to do. So like hiring you is like one of these side things that they're just kind of like they have to do. Like they could have a deadline that they're working on, but at the same time they have to like go, okay, I gotta interview this guy, like, you know, look through his stuff, like, yeah. Josh Baby. I'm not gonna answer your question. You keep calling me Josh Baby. I prefer Sir Fluke. Hello from Ukraine. I wish you more than 100,000 subscribers this year. Thank you. Large company doing front end, Angular, or small company doing full stack? I take small companies. I don't care about languages. Some people might care about languages. How come it's so hard to get a job without a citizenship? It depends on what kind of job you want. They can give you a contract status pretty easy, but if you want a salary and benefits, they have to go to the government and explain why they couldn't hire a U.S. citizen first. It's actually the same in almost every country. If you go to the EU, when I lived in Finland and I applied to jobs, I got rejected for almost everything because I wasn't a Finnish citizen or an EU citizen. So first they have to look for Finnish citizens, then they have to look for EU citizens, and then they can hire outside. Because they have to go to the government and be like, well, we couldn't find anyone here that could do the job. That's why it's hard. It's a legality issue. As a freelancer, ghosting is a regular thing for busy companies. Yes. Wiggy W, as fast as I want to, should I feel worried about the job ain't for me? What scenario? Mr. Fluke, sir. I'll let that one slide. My camera zooms in when I focus because it's manual focus. If you are solid on Ruby on Rails, how easy is it to learn and transition to other more hot libraries? This is the thing. The basic syntax with Ruby is pretty different than regular stuff. It's very based on spacing. You don't have functions per se. You have definitions, which are methods, because Ruby is a class-based language. And then it's really weird. If you don't space correctly or indent correctly, stuff will break. So on that level, it's a little bit difficult. So you should learn Ruby in combination with some other more modern language. You've gotten contracts before, grants. What? How much knowledge of programming language is required enough to be employed and be competent? I think that's a judgment of character for the company, maybe. This is a weird song. Well, you actually did. You worked at a startup. Now you're leaning towards taking the front-end position at a large company so it'll look good on your resume. If you care about what looks good on your resume, I don't know. I can't really help you there. I only care about what looks good on my portfolio and what looks good on my cover letter. Resume is just a list of skills. That's it. Company name, I don't give a shit about. Weird song, you don't hear any song? Okay, so I'm just listening to some chill song. I don't want to turn the music up too loud. Apparently, you could never hear it unless you're like blasting this right now. Just show them amazing pseudocode and they'll be dying to date you. Yep, pseudocode. That's basically job offers. Josh, would you take a legacy job for 6 months just for a big paycheck to later move on to a React Angular job? Nah, I'd take less money for more free time. Any day of the week. I'm not gonna sacrifice a bunch of time for a bunch of money. You don't get today back. You don't get tomorrow back. Like you like every single Monday. You only it's the last one of those you get. You're getting more live views each time you see. Hey man, it's crazy. It's not bad code. It's just pseudocode. Look, it's just an idea, man. It's just an idea. That's what pseudocode is. You ready to do that if that's the start of the career? You got a technical assessment. They gave you 2 weeks to complete. That sounds like a big technical test. Apart from nailing the basic requirements, what would be some advice to impress? I don't know what the scale of this 2-week code test is, but I would ask to be compensated. That might impress them. Be like, yeah, if you're expecting me to work like 40 hours on this and not pay me for it, I'm just going to go ahead and stop you right there and show you that I actually care about the value of my time, which means I'll care about the value of your time. So please compensate me for this take-home test if you're expecting me to work 2 weeks on it. Yeah, take a hike. Any decent company will pay you. What are the odds of a fresh grad getting a remote job? The odds are low. People get discouraged and people are like, fresh grads can't get remote jobs. It's actually cheaper for companies to be remote, but there are so many companies moving towards remote because it's cheaper, because you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay all these extra fees that come involved with having on-site workers. But there are just managers and people out there that think if they can't sit behind you and watch you work, then you're not going to work. So it just comes down to a trust issue with a lot of companies. Hey man, can you help me out? That's what the stream is for. Your channel has grown so much. You're my second most impactful channel of last year. It's good to know that I'm second, right? So you're either first or you're last. So basically I'm last. Appreciate you, Drew. You're the second best. Why would you tell me that? I'm just kidding. Thanks, Drew. What do I think of Pramp? Are there any other good interview prep websites? Interview Cake, I think, is good. What do I do to get a call back from a company if you don't have a degree? You just keep applying, man. It seems like I prefer React. Seems like React would be messy since it's all jumbled into JavaScript rather than everything being split up independently in Angular, for example. That's not true. React isn't messy. Everything's in a component, so it's not that bad. You just have a lot of files. What music is this? This is called Abstractions by Aleph 1 on Epidemic Sound. What's my opinion on Rust? I think the game of Rust is actually pretty good. It's made by the dude who made Gary's Mod, right? And, you know, it's a pretty good survival game. It's kind of like Lost Player. Yeah, I know you're talking about the language, but I don't know anything about it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you are enjoying the stream. Craig is the real MVP. Thanks, Craig. Just started as a consultant and has a lot of application to start with. Most of your time you sit to get into the application instead of getting directly into the coding part. Is this common? Yes. When you just start on a job, whatever your dev job is, the first week they're gonna be like, all right, so this is your task for the week, and then it's gonna be super basic, but it's not actually going to be basic. Like, you're just gonna figure out where like their files are. That's the main problem. As a new dev, you gotta set up your environment, you gotta get all the passwords and shit that you need, and you gotta figure out where the F your files are. Like where are you like, there's a bug in this file, and you're like, that's great, how do I get to it? That's real life dev. When you sit here and you do it all day long, you know where all your files are, it's all nice and organized. Hey, now you're going to someone else's company. Devs have come and gone, stuff is mismatched and all over the place. Dang, Josh, no love in the comments for me. What? You didn't type anything. Miss me with that bait. I'm just kidding. What up, dude? Been watching your videos for a while. Your portfolio is finished. Looking at web hosting right now. Just use GitHub. It's free, dude. TPS reports, yes. We fixed the glitch. Now, what would you say you do on an average day? Bye, Jim. You got a jet. Yeah, I'm making a video tomorrow called 15-minute resume skills, and I know that sounds kind of cheesy and clickbait, but wait, it's about accessibility and how you can learn the basics of accessibility in about 15 minutes, and if you put that on your resume, that will just separate you from the crowd, because accessibility adds market and potential customers to the company that you're working for. So if you say, hey, I can make your application accessible, you've just opened a market for that company and potentially a lot more revenue, because all the people that couldn't physically use your software or their software couldn't pay for it, or they wouldn't pay for it because they can't use it. So it doesn't take that much to make something accessible. At least it's really hard to get a website fully accessible, like approved, but to get it mostly accessible enough to be able to say most people can use this, it's not that hard. Like 15 minutes to learn how to do it. And so that's what that video is going to be. I think it's going to be really good. I've been spending a few days filming here and there. That's what I do. Like for my really good videos, I guess, I always kind of break it apart into a few days. It's going to be good. I hope it's good. Maybe it's not good. I don't know what I'm doing. I just make videos. What's the fastest way to start getting clients on Fiverr? Chelsea, you need a brand. So I don't know what you're doing outside of Fiverr. I would push people from your brand outside of Fiverr to Fiverr. Dude, I asked like 3 questions, man. I didn't see them. Is Ruby and Ruby on Rails worth learning? It's good to know about. It's good to do. I teach it. It's not my favorite. You learn front end, and literally every front end dev job wants .NET, whatever that is. You don't want .NET. I don't know literally every front end. That's not true. I don't want .NET. What do you think about Oscar? What? Where do you see phone app dev in 5 years? I think it's just going to be progressive web apps. React Native will evolve to a point where it will be very competitive with native mobile development. Well, my break is over. Keep up the great work. Appreciate everything you do, fam. Professor Magus? What up, man? Have a good rest of your day. Do you think web dev has a bright future? Yes. Are you going to have another network engineer versus web developer? Another. I don't have one, I don't think. What do you think of the Samsung Fold phone? I think that's not practical. Just get a phone that fits in your pocket and then have a tablet if you want something that is bigger. It's cheaper. Probably be cheaper to buy a brand new iPad and a smaller phone than buy a folding phone that does neither very well. You meant IT versus web developer? There is no IT versus web developer unless you mean in terms of... There's no versus. There's no good or bad to it. It's just different skill sets. Like, it would make more sense to ask the right question, like this versus that do similar things, but IT and web dev do different things. So it'd be like retail manager versus McDonald's cook. It doesn't make sense. Do I think VR is the future? No. VR is very equipment heavy, and that's the bottleneck. I think augmented reality will be the future for a while before virtual reality. Augmented reality is very easy. A lot of people already have phones, and you can use that to see augmented reality. Where if you have VR, you need an entire headset, and there's a lot more equipment and more expensive to make, which means it's going to take longer to scale. You want to try to make origami out of your phone? See, Richard knows. Richard, that's the only reason you should buy it, is try to make a paper crane. Do you think certification help in getting job? No. Certification is not accredited by anything. There's no proof of work. There's no proof of you did this to certifications. Some certifications do, like, you know, there's some cybersecurity tests that is technically a certification, but it's a test. Most certifications that you get aren't tests, or they'd be easy to cheat tests. zQuery, yeah, it's actually kQuery and zQuery. Those are the new, it's actually beating React. Can you help me learn Bootstrap? Yeah, so go to getbootstrap.org and click on components on the left, and then play with those components. Dogs, hold on. It's the mailman. They're not a fan of the mailman. Just a little FYI. All right. Josh, is it significantly harder to land an entry-level job in Java than web development? I don't know if there's a significance. Is jQuery dying? No. I like jQuery. I'd use jQuery over React any day. What's zQuery? It's the sequel to jQuery. Will AI take our jobs? No. They may take portions of your job. An employer rejected me, then offered me a week later after the other candidate said no. Josh, what do recruiters think about junior devs in their 30s? You feel like your age is an obstacle? They shouldn't know your age. Don't ever tell them your age. No one should ever know your age, ever. That's the problem. You can be too young, you could be too old, you can be the wrong race, you can be the wrong gender. People are just, they don't need to know that information. Discrimination is real. It sucks, but it's real. So don't give them information that they don't need to know. Do you like brown rice? Not really. Where's the Thanos? As a web dev, do clients tend to care if the website used Bootstrap to help design a site, or most people prefer to see CSS? I don't think your client knows what a Bootstrap is or a CSS, so I wouldn't worry about it. I think you could just be like, hey, I built this for you, and they'll be like, great. I don't think they're going to be like, wait a minute now. I believe you have not linted your CSS. Actually, correct linting standards mean that you need to have your CSS from A to Z in alphabetical order, and then you need to correctly use REMs and not percentages. Like, I don't think any client's going to say that. Don't worry. Is YouTube your job, or do you have another job? I have like 6 jobs. YouTube is not my job. YouTube is a way for me to interact with an audience and grow an audience to build a brand and a business. Do you think service workers will become widely used for web development? No, I think people who can do web development jobs will do web development. Doesn't matter where. Is Lambda accepting students from Poland? Anywhere in the EU can go to Lambda school. You have 6 jobs? What do you do for your jobs? Okay, so I make videos. I coach people. I teach people how to code, which, by the way, every single student that finished has a job. And what else? I sell products. I work on my website. I have ad revenue, some affiliates, some referrals, some merch, some Amazon links. I do. Will you make some advanced UI website tutorials? Website tutorials aren't really my thing. My thing is more about how to get a job. So many other people teach you how to do a website. Would you ever go freelancer web dev and travel digital nomad? I don't need to be a freelancer web dev to do that now. I can do that already. Can I answer your question about open classrooms? I missed it. Maybe. All right, well, the meeting closed. Fantastic. Swift tutorial? I don't know Swift. What's your bench, squat, deadlift? I don't know. Web-based JS and object-oriented. What? You're struggling in mastering a language. You can write C++, Python, and Java, but I need to be very great at one. Which one should I master? You don't need to be very great at one. Just use what works. Stop thinking that you have to be the best at one. What happens if you become the best at this one language and suddenly your company, we're not using this anymore. You just wasted your time. How are the doggos? Hype. They're good, man. Thanks for asking about them. They're just sleeping. They're taking a little nap. They just got a little upset at the mailman there. How do you get the text to float over your video? I use OBS, Streamlabs. What was your study schedule like? It was very crappy. I was not the best studier. Even love the videos. How long did it take you till you got an audience? You're asking because you've been doing videos for a while but losing motivation. Matthew, this is what happens. You make videos and you're not going to get views. Then you still have to make videos and you're not going to get views. The thing to get started on YouTube is to not use YouTube itself to get started. You have to use outside resources, which means you have to post on like forums and places with high traffic. So, for example, you could post on Reddit. Reddit has high traffic. You could post on Facebook pages that have high traffic for web development or whatever your niche is. You could, like, you have to do that to get a little momentum. Once you get a little momentum from there, you build from YouTube. But don't use YouTube solely to start building that traffic. You have to use other websites that you can insert your content into. That's the real gem of the stream, just FYI. That's the secret to YouTube right now in 2019. What do I think about Chris Sean? I think Chris Sean has a lot more energy than I do, and he's a nice guy. Is it more difficult for ethnic minorities to get a job? I don't know. Could be. Could be for some jobs. I'm sure some companies are pieces of shit that discriminate. And I'm sure there are some companies that are like, yo, we just want people who could work. Which car do you have? I have a Triumph 1050 Speed Triple and a Nissan Juke. There's no current playlist. It's just go to Epidemic Sound, go to latest tracks, click play. What is the most important concept in JavaScript that a junior dev fully understand? All of them? There's no most important. Maybe objects, probably. Objects, prototypes, constructors. Array manipulation. Speed Triple is a money bike. I like it. Still doing keto? Nah. Just intermittent fast. What are your favorite tech YouTubers? I don't really have any. Maybe Lions Tech Tips. Do you work for a company these days? I will never work for anyone but myself ever again. So, no, I don't work for a company. I will never work for someone again ever. I'm too much of a bullheaded person with my own ideas and my own opinions and my own ways of doing things for me to want to work in an established company of some guy's arbitrary rules. It's not how I work. It's a weird song. Pass. What project are you most proud of that you've made? It would be Rocket Sling because it's on the Unity App Store. Thanks for the help. I'm Taco Bell feeling a little hungry. Alright, man. Hit that Taco Bell. Do you still write code at all? I spent 9.5 hours coding yesterday. I had students from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and I sat with those students all day and I typed code and I helped them solve bugs all day long. So that was enough code for me for the week. And then obviously I have students almost every day, Monday to Friday, Saturdays and Sundays sometimes. I code on those days. How did you start working for yourself? I built up enough ad revenue that made some percentage of my living expenses, and then I teach code on the side, which pays another percentage of my living expenses, and then I have referrals, affiliates, ad revenue, I already said that, products, stuff like that. How much production? I mean, do you write production code? I don't think that matters if you write production code or non-production code. I don't think it matters. If I'm a freelancer, then all your code is production code. I don't have to work at a company to be qualified as a developer or a programmer. I have to teach production code. Do you think that people can learn for free what is paid in other websites? Yes. How long, how often do you fast? I don't eat until about 1 p.m. every day. Your friend from MIT told me that they are thinking about teaching classes in VR. What's your thought on that? Teaching classes in VR? Yeah, that's definitely the future, but there's really no reason to do VR specifically when you can just screen share. You want to relocate to Minneapolis? You live in Chicago. Should you put Minneapolis on your resume when applying to jobs? What's the best way to land a job in a different city? BF, here's the pro tip for you, my friend. On your cover letter, you say, I'm currently residing in Minneapolis, and I'm currently residing in Chicago, and I would like to relocate to Minneapolis. I'm flexible in my schedule, and yeah, I would end that there, right? Willing to relocate, blah, blah, blah. So what are your students paying you that they can't get online for free? Not to be rude, actually curious, right? So I teach at Open Classrooms, and Open Classrooms has a bachelor's degree that's recognized by the EU. So you can't get that online for free. Do you do morning running exercise? No. I just run at the gym after I lift. So I can exhaust the glycogen in my muscles, and then I go run. EU or US? It doesn't really matter. I don't think a degree is make or break in my opinion, but yeah, that's what they get, that you can't get for free online. Greetings from Colombia. You've been following the channel for a while now. Keep it up. And Jake, you're not wrong about people being able to find mostly anything online for free, but that's up to that person to find those links and stay motivated and disciplined and be resourceful enough to know what to look for. Because you don't know what you don't know. Like, you might not know that there's a word out there that exists that is exactly what you're trying to figure out. And because you don't know that it exists, you don't know to search for it. And that is a common problem with people that are the self-taught route. They don't know what to look for. They just know that they're stuck. Hardest whiteboarding you've had to do? I've never been whiteboarded. Well, yeah, I did. It was like this complex SQL join they made me do. Angular, React, your opinion. React is more popular than Angular. Angular is an MVC which has a focus on backend, which I would say Angular is more full stack and React is just front end. How much do you take for 2 hours teaching? It's expensive. 2 hours teaching though? Teaching is about 45 minutes. So, yeah. Have you seen Jake Wright's vlogs? No. How many times have you heard that you look like Ethan Hawke? Probably like at least 48 times. How many projects did you have? About 3. You have quite a few that are Unity, Unreal Engine. Should you make something in JS or do what you want? Use OpenGL. Yeah, you can use OpenGL in Unity and you can have interactive games for people to play with. What is the thing you're doing that has accreditation in the EU? Which link is it in the description? There's not a link, David. Just go to Open Classrooms. It's called Open Classrooms. What do you think about ClojureScript? I don't. Can't wait for the haptic feedback glove thing. Yeah, that'd be cool. It'll be just like the movie then. What's your main goal for 2019? Main goal for 2019, I want to get my paraglider license to fly. So sport aircraft, I'd like to get my pilot license for sport aircraft. Like in terms of, I'd like to see my revenue increase about 30 times over. And I would like to see, I'd like to pay off my house this year. I would like to pay off my car, all my debt. I would like to have like a lot of stuff. There's no main goal. I got a lot of goals. Do you have to be a certain level in code to become a student of yours? No. You can't get Gulp to work on Bash and can't figure out why. Probably because your node is not up to date. Have you tried skydiving or hang gliding? Hang gliding is skydiving. I'm not super interested in skydiving. I prefer the parachute to already be open rather than take a chance on it not opening. But skydiving, I don't really like it because you get 60 seconds, you're going down no matter what. Paragliding, you can go back up. Hang gliding, however, is more difficult to travel with because you have these long stability poles that you use to set up hang gliding. Definitely interested. You could fly a lot faster and in higher wind speeds, but more setup. Almost every stream ends up becoming Q&A. I know, but that's cool, dude. I'm just here to answer questions, help people out. It's a weird song. Best diet for a code animal, stay focused on top of things. Best diet for a code animal. Caffeine, probably. Just eat caffeine pills, that's all you need. You just began studying this month with HTML, CSS, Stack Overflow, and YouTube videos for understanding. Yes, Stack Overflow can be a little bit elitist, so don't worry too much about that. If you had to choose a completely different career type than you currently do, what would it be? I would want to fly an F-35B or a Harrier in the military. I'd be a pilot. I still will be a pilot. I've flown paragliders before, but I failed the P2 test just barely on some aeronautical stuff with weather. But I passed the first test, so I have my P1, so I have P2. Do you come up with your own curriculum, or does Open Classroom give you a syllabus? So Open Classroom has their own paths, that's what they call. What's the best starter app to build in React or React Native? Your suggestions? Fahad, I think flashcards are cool. What is NIGHTBOT? You have no idea. So NIGHTBOT just answers questions. There's some commands. I should make a thing called commands. If you just put FAQ. You're in Boston getting an associate's degree in computer science. Going to study mechatronics in France. If you get an engineering degree in Europe, can you get a job in the US? Tori, so my engineering degree is from Europe, and I had a job in the US, so yes. You love to argue with the Stack Overlords? Oh man, so many patience. So you have to put an exclamation mark, FAQ. I need to figure out that command more, but there are some more commands. FAQ, right? Yeah, no, you don't need a degree. Yes, you need a portfolio. You need about 3 projects, complete wireframes. That's a pretty common question. So, how to learn algorithm? Well, there's only one algorithm, and that's Google's algorithm, which is the only one that matters. So to learn that, you have to become an undercover spy for Google. So I'd start with looking up ABC Company, which is the corporation, the legally registered entity, the business entity of Google, and become a hidden mole in that company and work your way up to the top. And once you discover Google's algorithm, the rest of the algorithms in the world open up to you. So if you do Discord, it should work. What else we got? Courses, I think. I need to make a commands list. I'm bad, I'm sorry. Do you have any personal recommendations for young children learning to code? Yeah, so Coding Game is good. Coding Game is like a little game that you just fill in the code. Have you, is going to a Ruby on Rails focused bootcamp a really bad idea? I wouldn't go to a Ruby on Rails bootcamp. I wouldn't do it. If I knew that I could start somewhere else, I'd probably start somewhere else. I'm gonna open up, oh wait, no I can't. Remember me, Josh? Yeah, dude, I remember. Free Code Camp is a game pretty much? Kinda. Thomas, why wouldn't I go to a Ruby on Rails bootcamp? I just wouldn't go to a Ruby on Rails bootcamp because it's legacy. I would only go to Ruby on, this is what happens. I would learn Ruby on Rails to take a Ruby on Rails job so that I could work there for 3 months to have a stamp on my resume so that I could quit that job and go do something that actually isn't ass. It's a weird song. No thanks. Daniel C. He says that he doesn't remember you. But Daniel C., I believe your name is Daniel Castellon with 2 L's, if I'm correct, and you changed your name to be Daniel C., but I believe it's actually Daniel Castellon. So if you want to call me out saying I don't remember you, I actually remember you. Yeah, see? Holy shit. That's what I thought. You only work for 3 months? What? You still write Fortran about once a week. Anyone more legacy than you? Ooh, Fortran's hard to beat. What's a binary search tree? It's just kind of like a complicated loop. If you just Google binary search tree, you have a tree, we have a node, and then a node, and a node, and each one of these nodes breaks down into subnodes. It's like when you learn how to do division with your little trees. It's hard to explain, like, on the spot, you know? What do you think about people that are trying to get involved in every single language? I mean, you do you. What would you recommend for learning PHP with Laravel framework online, preferably non-paid? James Anderson, do you do Laracasts? That's free. It's like a family tree, yeah. Why do people ask technical questions on here? Aaron, dude, that's a good question, man. Just copy paste to Stack Overflow. Your buddy writes Cobalt. Oh, Cobalt's good. Do you think Golang is worth the time? No. I see once in a while. Thoughts on Django? Django's good. Is C#.net a good path for web dev? No. Don't do that. Are you going to write blog posts as well as create vids? Kino, it takes so long to make videos as it is. And like, edit the videos and curate them and edit my website and add the content to my website and like make the products that I have and make the courses and film the courses. Like, it's just difficult. Blog posts don't have a great turnaround rate. Video is a lot more interactive. Video is the future. Blog posts require you to sit and read and do nothing else while you read the blog post, whereas if there's a video, you can walk around. Can you teach online? I do teach online. Someone sent me a friend request. It's Alice, yo. Do they allow you to use Google during interviews? Good companies do. Shitty companies don't. Should a front-end developer learn data structures and algorithms? No. Depends on what company. They're gonna ask you. Some shitty companies are gonna ask you data structures and algorithms, and they're gonna be like, "Well, we need you to understand your problem-solving ability." And it's like, "But bro, I'm gonna be writing like JavaScript all day." Yeah, but we need to understand your ability to solve complex strategic business. Blah 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 blah. Like, shitty company, ignore. It's not practical for a front-end developer. You should get some interns. Maybe. I don't know who would want to be an intern. Are you gonna get the Samsung S10? No. I just got the Galaxy Note 9. I'm not gonna upgrade again. How do you deal with office politics at a new company? I don't engage in office politics. I feel like people who engage in office politics want to climb the corporate ladder, and I'm not interested in climbing a corporate ladder. I'm interested in owning the ladder. Why climb it when you can be the one owning it? So from that standpoint, I don't engage in politics. I'm not interested in gargling my boss's balls. Do you watch The Daily Show? I did when it was Jon Stewart. Not anymore. How often do you use the S Pen? Dude, all the time. What are your opinions on Udemy from a creator standpoint? Udemy doesn't pay very fairly. I prefer Teachable. Do you think there's a difference between working at a large corp and a small corp? Yes. What about just kissing them? I mean, obviously, just walk right up to them. Just slap them on the butt. That'll work. What are you up to? Any business ideas or startups? I don't need any startups. Business ideas. I have a business idea, and I'm currently running it. What's your opinion on QA engineers? Okay, let's define QA engineer. Are you an actual QA engineer, or are you just clicking through the website? Our QA people were QA engineers, but really what that meant is that they just looked through the website and they just looked through the website and just clicked on stuff. What do I think of this job? This is the wrong stream. Do you think a new developer trying to get the first job should focus on a single stack? No. Don't try to understand multiple stacks. Don't try to understand a single stack. Just use what works. Oh yeah, you called in a while back asking if you do a project or learn data structures and algorithms, and I said do a project, and then you got an internship because they like the project, because that's what actually matters. So you say go to a boot camp or something. What is the easiest way to land a job? The tech stack is different than what you'll learn in the program. You know, juniors will occasionally be hired this way. Okay, so I learned Angular, basic Angular, and I got a job doing Ruby on Rails. It doesn't matter. Programming concepts transfer. It's not like a law degree, right? Programming is not like law in different countries. So if you learn how to be a lawyer in this state, you can't usually transfer to other states because that state has different laws. No, programming is different. Programming concepts transfer to different languages. You want to be a data engineer? How should you start? I don't know. I'm not a data engineer. I'm not sure. Math, maybe? Yeah. I mean, you'll always be learning new stacks. That's your job. So just figure out how to learn fast. Figure out how to read documentation fast. What age did you start focusing, really progressing with your code? I never really progressed with my code. How often do you lay some pipe? In the past 48 hours, 3 times. No, 4 times, yeah. 4 times in the past 48 hours. Why do you think I'm so chill? How the first couple weeks will be as a new dev? It's going to be intense. It's going to be rough. You need to learn a lot to be hired. I mean, you need to know enough to do the job. What is React, Node, and Redux, and how they relate to JavaScript? Omar, we can't, dude. I can't. You have an issue. You'd be following the course, and you'd understand everything, and then in a lesson or two, you'd get lost. This is the pseudocode video for you. Learn to pseudocode. You got to pseudocode out. Take notes. Number one, take notes. Min, you went to Lambda bootcamp? You studied online? No, I did not go to Lambda. Min. How important is asking good questions? I don't think good questions. This is my response, I would say. I would say it's more important to ask the right question than a good question. Wait, what's pseudocode? Oh my god. Okay, go watch the video called Stuck. I talk about how you write down how to solve a problem in plain English and then convert that plain English to code. So Josh, on your first job where you hired Ruby on Rails, how much time did they give you to learn? How comfortable with you? I wasn't comfortable at all. I didn't know what I was doing. He walked over and he took this book and he just slammed this book on my desk. He's like, hey Josh, here's a Rails book. Let us know if you got any questions. Your first task is in Asana. So yeah, just log into Asana. Here's your username and password. You'll see a list of things I gave you. So just go check that out when you're ready. Let me know if you need any more resources for Rails. And then he walked away. That was my job. That's what it's like. And you're like, how did I get here in life? I'm not qualified to do this. I'm gonna change out the battery to my camera. It's gonna go black for a second. I'm still here, but it's a DSLR, right? So I have to change the battery. You really enjoy the streams and you really appreciate the input, so thank you. You're welcome. Glassdoor, my dude. Yes. Did you ever get good at Rails? I teach Ruby on Rails, so I'd like to think that I'm fairly competent at it. I don't like it in any way. I would never do it, but it's part of the Open Classroom's curriculum, so I teach it. What are your thoughts on home ownership? I own a home, so I guess thoughts are good. I own a home as an investment. Wait, the cam can't get powered from the cable? No, this is a DSLR camera. This is the camera that I film my vlogs with. So I hook an HDMI into the side right now, and it's hooked up to an Elgato. I'll show you, maybe if it reaches. So this is what the camera is plugged into here. An Elgato HD60. That's, yeah. Would you choose another career path if you could go back in time? No. I tried to be a pilot, but then I realized it was going to cost me $500,000 and I was going to make $10 an hour for the first 13 years, so no. What was your hardest interview you had? I don't know about hardest. I've had some like crappy interviews. What DSLR do you have? I have a GH5. $10 an hour as a pilot. So the typical training, the typical workflow here is that you you learn how to fly a plane, and it costs you roughly $40,000 a semester times 4 years. So let's just estimate 4 times 4, right? So 4 semesters is 2 years. That's $160,000, and you multiply that by 2. So 160 times 2, it's a lot of money. Yeah, you're looking at like $300,000 to learn how to fly a plane. And then your first job after that is to be the instructor, to sit in the plane, to teach people in college how to fly planes. And you get paid $10 an hour to do that. So it's not a great career. Yeah, you get paid like 110 as a Delta pilot, but you need like 20 years. And you're never at home, ever. You're never at home. So I'd rather make a bunch of money somewhere else and then just buy a plane. So 4 semesters is 2 years. So in the United States, you typically have a fall semester and a spring semester. That's 2 semesters. 4 semesters would be 2 years. And then, yeah. So, I mean, pilots are just glorified bus drivers, essentially. They don't even do anything they just take off and land. An autopilot could probably do that. Discord link is invalid, by the way. Okay, thank you. Why be a digital nomad when you can be a nomad? Exactly. Thanks for the motivational videos. You started working 4.3 as a front end because you passed an interview. They work with Angular. Nice, dude. Only with React Native. Any tips? I just keep doing it. Why can't you be a remote pilot? Maybe TeamViewer would work. Dude, of course. Best energy drink for working through the night coding. Yeah, I think the best energy drink for that would be some apple cider vinegar and some tea and some honey, and then just go to sleep. The song is so sad. This is like the end of a good Disney movie. This is wholesome. You say sad, this is wholesome. I'm gonna turn it up now. Did you make the Grindr logo yourself? I modified some pieces. The best energy drink would be pre-workout, probably. Oh, let's hit this hillbilly song right here. How many cups of coffee do you drink in a day? I don't drink coffee. Red Bull mixed with G Fuel. Thoughts? I think you should ask me about mixing a Monster drink with pre-workout. I did that a couple times when I was feeling really tired at work. I wanted to die. I'm just kidding. Caffeine doesn't really have an effect on me. Do you do drugs? No. I mean, if you count caffeine, then technically a lot of people do. Alright, I'm looking for some trap music here. Rum plus Coke for startup coding. I don't drink and I don't smoke, so I don't really know. Do you trap? I mean, occasionally we get on the side hustle. Someone said something about the life story. You felt like you just told me your whole life story with the song in the background? That's wholesome. Do you still play Overwatch? I haven't played Overwatch in a while. I've been playing a Ring of Elysium. That's pretty fun. Try some French and Italian trap. Lit. Is open classes worth the money for someone already in university? I don't know your living situation or your history or your learning ability. It's really difficult. Play some DMX. Tried Apex? Everybody's tried Apex. Have you ever drunk alcohol? Yes, I've drunk alcohol before. I don't like it. It makes me sick. Please send motivation and energy. There you go. It's been sent. I can't play certain music because the stream will get demonetized. What music is this? This is called Sugar Blizz featuring Cleo Kelly. No, don't change the music. Please play DMX. I can't. The stream will get demonetized. I just want to find some trap music. Hold. We're gonna take it back to 2007 where the word crunk was used, and we'll just get it crunk. They don't have lo-fi. Ooh, excuse me. They don't have lo-fi in Epidemic Sound. Here, we'll do some rock music. We'll just get hype. Are you ready? This is the song I put in my video. Chief Keef, no thanks. Here's the song. Here you go. Here's some heavy metal without. Turn it down a little bit. How do you feel about people that say trap is not real rap? I don't actually care what those people think, so I don't let my feelings become controlled by some random's opinion. Are we playing Doom right now? I love metal. I love metal. I love guitar solos. I love trap. Streams are demonetized unless people donate, pretty much. How good is your finish? It's pretty good. Ihan Huva. Pretty good. One of your favorite YouTubers? Oh, dude, I have so many. I like watching tutorials of After Effects videos of like people building out the special effects of like Marvel and stuff. Trap beats are so good. What headphones are you using? These are Corsair Voids RGBs. How do I know if open classrooms would be a good choice then? I don't know, like, so Danny, this is how it works. Open Classrooms calls you and you hop on a phone call and you decide if it's a good choice for you. It's not like you just sign up. Do you know any 3D software like Maya? I played around with Blender once, a few times. Is there any other Finnish folks here? I don't know. Are there any Finnish people here at all? Did your stay in Finland change your worldview in any way, or did you influence your decisions? Of course it did. Of course. The more you travel, the more you realize what you grew up in. How many kids do you have? I have 2 fur children, two fur babies. Mitakulu. All right, dude. It's going good. What are you hearing is what he says here. It's going good. I'm hearing well. Look up WGU. Are you talking about Western Governors University? If you want the equivalent to the open school, it's not the equivalent. Do you think web is overtaking native apps? Why do I think it is? I think it just will. It's more convenient to do it that way. Does taking notes on mostly video-based courses help? It does for me. Any Russians by chance? Da. Нет. I know how to say STFU in Russian. I had to say that a lot. I think if there's Russians here, I believe to say STFU is Zebayi Ebalo or something like that, right? And that means shut up in a very mean way. Nope, that's not it, but we all think it is. Sukabulat. You've chosen a career versus social life. Have you? I don't know. I just live life. Do you eat pizza often? Yes, too much. I was thinking about having pizza tonight. Little Caesar sounds good. Hello from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. Carnival is next week. Nice, dude. Why isn't it the equivalent? Wait, what? I live in the US, but I'm from St. Petersburg, which is pretty close to Finland. And yes, you are right. See? See? I lived on the Finnish border, so everybody hit me up with the vegan pizza. Ugh. Pineapple on pizza? I'll still eat it. It's pizza. Just don't put onions on it, please. Onions or olives. Tried SAS. The code is getting messy without curly braces. Do you still use curly braces with SAS? What are you doing? Gryffindor or Ravenclaw? Can we be Hufflepuff? I want to be Hufflepuff. I'm puffy like a Hufflepuff. You get onions on pizza? Alright, somebody ban him. I'm timing you out because you said that. Enjoy. Just kidding. Buffalo plus onion? I like buffalo, but not onion. Ways to deal with depression. Alright, I'm not like a clinical psychologist here, but I've had my share of down times. I would say to deal with it is you have to do things. I think one of the most common misconceptions about motivation and feeling happy is that you don't always have to feel happy, and you don't have to feel motivated to get things done. This is just a truth in life. You don't always have to be at this all-time high of like life is just the best it's ever been, and you don't have to be way down here of like life sucks, and you don't have to be up here or even in the middle to do things, to get things done. You can do things when you absolutely don't want to do it. And when you do, you feel like you've made the most progress because you are at such a low. I don't know. Family Guy or The Simpsons? I would probably take Rick and Morty. Could I please explain this code? What? Why? Just ride the ride until 95. So I'm trying to like slide. I'm trying to like slide into my grave, thinking like, wow, what a ride. Not, well, I guess we made it. Like I want to like slide into my coffin, you know, be like at the end of like a water slide and just be like, that was crazy. All right, guys, I'm out, and then just be dead. That's how I try to live life. But I'm not trying to like end it early, do anything super crazy, but Osco, dude, Osco, that's hilarious. It actually muted your finished curse words. That's funny. Have you ever heard of the YouTuber Alpha Male Strategies? Yes. They have helped me guide how I decide to open code education, particularly how to study program. Your interview with Free Code Camp was helpful. I didn't do an interview with Free Code Camp. What? Pozdro Okay, cool. Greece from Poland, what up? So, like, the thing is, like, happiness comes from, like, inside. And this just turned, like, really philosophy-based, whatever, right? But happiness comes from the inside. It comes from being grateful for what you have. So, there's two ways to be happy in life. And that is to try to get everything you want, which is a never-ending treadmill. You always want something else. Or to want everything you already have. And so that's how I think about it. Priest from Romania, what up, man? Discipline beats motivation every time. What do you do when you burn out from coding but need to code? You code anyways. Or maybe figure out something that you don't get burned out from, or maybe pace yourself so you don't get burned out. Hi man, cheers from Brazil. What up, dude? How's it going? What's your sun sign? Astrology? So I'm not really big into astrology and all that stuff, but I tell you what my symbol is. I'm a Capri Sun. That's my sign. Processor's key for a new PC. At least an i5 with 16 gigs. I have a AMD 1950X with 64 gigs of RAM and two 1080s. What do I think about Golang? Is it worth learning? No. I don't know anything about it really. How important would you say agile is? Agile is just a concept to get work done in an efficient way. People like to take this to an extreme and become agile, like, I don't know, managers, whatever. It's literally just like tracking your tasks, making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and the dude makes sure you have everything you have. What's the best way about hiring software devs in your opinion? So if someone knows nothing about software dev, doesn't usually get burnt by a bad hire. It's pretty, so you can tell who's going to be a bad software dev if you just say, hey, this is a situation we're facing at work right now, or we're basically hiring you to build this exact project. Let me show you what this project is. Come on over here, have a seat next to me. And then you pull up the project and you're like, all right, this is what we're working on right here, and this is what we need to do. But me and this other guy over here, we're busy doing these two other ones. Do you think you could finish building this out? Like, would you know how to figure that out? What do you think? Like, how would you go about building this out? Is it worth buying a gaming laptop, or should you assemble your own desktop? I mean, it depends on what you want. What are the signs that the company is garbage and you should get out, decline ASAP? If they outsource. If they outsource, if they're not transparent about their outsourcing, and if people aren't transparent about how much they get paid. I like how the two Finnish people, we got Osco and you in here. Help me find a job, LOL. How do you want me to do that? You want to learn coding? Go to Free Code Camp. Follow that. That will work. Is the music too loud? I feel like it's loud. All right, we've done enough rocking out. Maybe we'll do some like ultimate remixes. Indeed.com. Luke. How to get a job. You apply. Classic rock. I don't really have that. Just failed your Scrum certificate exam. You don't need to feel bad about that though, right? Like, what happens? Like, let me ask you a question, Osco. Does feeling bad about it help you in any way? Is this making you feel better? Is feeling bad about yourself? Probably not. Chances are, nothing good. Everything's just gonna be bad. So don't feel bad about it. Just do it again. Everyone in this chat can't code. What? Oh, Christopher G says, web development has gone to crap because of you. Mad cuz bad. Huh, he probably paid 1,000 for it. Yeah, so I think that would be like, I think that would be on you if you paid $1,000 to learn a skill that doesn't actually need a certificate in any way. Like, why would you ever need to pay $1,000 for a certificate that doesn't do anything for you? Do you hike mountains in Utah? Any preferred peaks, trails? I like to hike the shoreline, Bonneville shoreline. I like to run that. When you talk about building your brand to help lead to work, what do you think are key considerations, say, for an artist, consistent visual style as a front-end dev? Would it be web app sites? So I think it would be some sort of style. I think it would be your ability to dissect what you did on your site and break it down in a easily readable way. So if you make great React apps, break them down into how you did them. What is your opinion on Brexit? I don't know. I don't have one really. I'm not in the UK. I don't have one. You're currently going to college. How would you recommend that I make the most out of your summer breaks? I don't know what you like to do, man. I don't know if you want to... I don't know what you like to do. You want to live life? Go have fun? Go do it. That's difficult, Sheldon. Dean, what's up, dude? Should you apply to a bunch of jobs that are related of what I've been practicing for? No. Apply to everything. What are your thoughts on Vue.js? It's really popular, easier to learn. Big in Python, but how much of it is actually web-based? Not that much. Troy. Cheers, Josh. Good advice. I forgot what I said, but hopefully it helps. Play some WoW with me? I'm not playing this expansion. No thanks. Pass on that. I already played this expansion. I leveled up to 120, and then I promptly uninstalled it because it's terrible. Is C++ good? C++ is industry standard for game dev, if you're interested in game dev. I don't know if you want to hit that up. Oh, by the way, you know what I think we should do, chat? It's been really weird for me to refer to you guys as chat, but I don't want to be that guy. But you use Slack? You heard Slack? You guys heard Slack? It's because my friend is messaging me. He says, oh no, it's Katie. Oh, yeah, my friend Katie. You guys, I don't know if you remember her. Yeah, I was talking to her about how my girlfriend just moved out and her parents came and got all her stuff and she just packed up and left. Ugh. Did you ever go see Aquaman? What did you think about the graphics? Sharina, I did not see Aquaman yet. I'm a terrible human being, but I did watch the Red Giant videos about how to create Aquaman special effects, so yes. How many Java web development jobs are there? A lot. Spring Boot, I think. You like the background music? Thanks, man. Working on a web app thing. Happy Sunday, everyone. Wait, it's Saturday here, but happy Sunday to you. Sorry to hear that. Oh, it's been a weird day. That's why I'm live streaming right now. Can you be my girlfriend? I can code 2 languages. I don't think that you're a girl. It's too much bait. NoSQL versus SQL. I think SQL is more popular. Is it better to perfect one language than move on, or know a little bit of everything? Harshit, it doesn't matter. Just use what you want. Use a language that you like to build something that you like. So Java is very popular backend languages. Java is more for like dev shops. There's these thing called Java shops, and a lot of companies run Java shops. I think PHP, Node, Rails are also popular. For new devs, is it a good idea to learn PHP today? 100% learn PHP. It's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. I think people are just like, PHP. It's literally just JavaScript with $signs. It's not a bad language. It's more forgiving, and it can get a little bit messy. But if you just want readable code that works, PHP is good to go. If you want to build a scalable application with 400 million users, PHP is not good to go. Why you PHP? You. Because it's good. Is Node.js as scalable as ASP? ASP.NET is like a framework. ASP.NET is like an MVC, and Node.js is just a backend. First year of college, do you have some interesting project ideas that you could do for portfolios? A front-end designer? Front-end designer or front-end developer? Front-end, like, what do you... Clarify that. Do you think that I can make good passive income from HTML games? I think that you can make passive income from any website that has traffic. That's what the actual question is, Master of the Mash. You need traffic to a website that has ads on it. That's where you make money. I like PHP. I would learn it again. It was my second job. Actually, PHP was my first full-time dev job. I went from Ruby on Rails, had that as a part-time job, and I went to a PHP, dedicated PHP job, vanilla PHP, learning Laravel. Definitely do it. It's a good language. It's playful, it's fun, it's got a lot of built-in methods already, stuff that JavaScript doesn't have. It's annoying to set up on a Windows machine, but that's a different story. PHP has bad performance compared to Node. No one cares about performance. You're one of these people who cares about 0.2 nanoseconds of performance. I don't actually give a shit about 2 seconds of performance, because nothing that I'm ever going to make is going to matter in terms of performance. I'm never going to make an app that has 400 million users or 500,000 users. It doesn't matter. Symfony versus Laravel. Symfony is ass, Laravel is good. And I use Symfony too, more than Laravel, and it was ass. Do you enjoy traveling? Yes, but I have 2 dogs. Not 2 seconds, bud. Okay, so this is where we go down. This is where we go down the red herring. It's a lot worse at scale. I understand that, but I'm never going to build anything at scale, so I don't care. Will you want to code in the future? I code when I need to. Have you been playing any video games recently? I've been playing Ring of Elysium, but Ring of Elysium actually shut down solo and duo play because all of the players are playing Apex right now. How do you choose a language to match employers' job qualifications? Just an opinion that a lot of people have that PHP is a bad decision right now. It's not. Apex needs to get solo. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A large part of Apex's maps are designed around being able to res your friends. Something about a single page website. You can simply adjust that PSD and turn it into a single page, just an idea. Yeah, go to Dribbble or Behance or find a website that you like and figure out how you would improve it. Python versus PHP, Django or Flask. They're both Python. How do you sell your story at an interview without being cocky? I think that you just tell them about yourself, who you are, and what you do. What programming subreddits do you like? I don't read programming subreddit stuff. I read programming now specifically when I need to use it. I don't sit and read programming just to read programming stuff. If I'm working on my website, then I'll read programming stuff. If I'm working on an app with a student, then I'll read programming stuff. Other than that, I am staying far away from programming stuff because I like to make videos, you know? I'd rather read After Effects or r/funny, I don't know. r/ basically copy paste Facebook to Reddit. Best way to build a mobile app so that you don't have to rewrite the same code twice? Probably React Native. What do I think of alpha male strategies? I think that what he talks about is very controversial, and I don't know how or if he's monetized. That's what I think. Is learning code from a book efficient? Probably not. Least favorite text editor? Probably Vim or Emacs or whatever. I mean, yeah. So basically, a code gets deprecated as soon as you pull the book off the shelf and open it. Like, it's already out of date. Why don't you like Vim, David? Please. I don't like Vim because I don't know the shortcuts, and I don't want to spend the time to learn the shortcuts. That's why I don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's just my least favorite. Is Amita's Glassdoor search not good? I don't really know. How long till you felt that you were able to code up to junior or senior standard, and what standard are you feeling at now? I have no idea. Ask me to code something in JavaScript. Ask me to code something in Golang. Probably I'll be pretty good coder JavaScript, but garbage at Golang. So you can be senior at something and junior at something at the same time. I know, it's a weird concept. Learning from Coursera or EDX? I don't know. Whichever one you like. With regards to interviews, there's a good channel called interview.io. I think that's Pramp. You're very confused by SAS operators. Any advice? What? Like, you talking about like SAS, like styling SAS? What's your process of learning a new programming language framework? Watch YouTube videos, documentation, or blogs? I usually just, I have an idea for something that I want to build, and then I look at the sections of the things that I want to build, and then I go figure out what code I need to build it. How do you know when a website for your portfolio is done enough? Trying to get a junior web position. Done enough. So you need to have a few, I would put more effort into your projects than your portfolio, but a portfolio you could think is just like your collection of projects. You need to have basically everything on the first load. Everything I possibly want should be on the first load. I want to know your skills. I want to know about you. I want to see your projects hosted. I want to see your project's code. I want to see your link to everything that I could think of. I want when your page first loads. Jerry says you only know JavaScript and PHP, but you can't find a job to match employers' needs. Yeah, you can. Peace out, Chelsea. Jerry, if you apply and they say no, you didn't lose anything other than the 10 minutes you spent to apply. But if they say yes, yes. What do you think a good strategy is to contribute to open source? David, I made a big video about this. It's called Underrated, Contributing to Open Source and How It Can Build Your Portfolio. So a good method is to find a project that you're passionate about and see if it's open source, or you just have to look for some open source examples And then you start looking at their documentation for how to contribute, and then see if there's anything that you would like to add to it, or maybe edit their documentation, or correct the instructions, remove typos, stuff like that. You have to find some open source stuff that you might like first. In order to do that, you just have to, maybe you know about some, you could Google for some. That's my advice. Do you like CrossFit? No. I like bodybuilding, and I like actual exercise, and CrossFit is not actual exercise. Have you ever seen kip-ups? They're not real pull-ups. How to pull out your shoulder 101 ups. I like cross training, but I don't like CrossFit. I think CrossFit has a focus on reps over form, and a lot of people get injured. That's my main qualm. Use CSS Grid for everything, or should we still be using older methods for older browsers? Use Bootstrap. There are positions, junior React Dev. I would just look for React Dev. Hello, comrade. What up, man? Hacktoberfest? That's kind of far. Yeah, Hacktoberfest is an open source thing, though. You can go do. Meteor.js or PHP for backend to React. What do you mean? You started with Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, one of the best books of 2019. It was okay. It was pretty long. He goes in depth with his story. It was okay. I think Living with a Seal is better. It's more. It was more entertaining. It was a better read for me. Can't Hurt Me was good, but a lot of the philosophies he talks about in that book I was already really familiar with, and I've read about it and researched him a lot anyways. So it was hard to be as engaged, but it was a good book. I agree. What do you recommend for the average bootcamp graduate? Internships? No. Regular jobs. Don't lower yourself down to an internship. Let the people who accept that for themselves. Oh, I can only get an intern. Let those people accept that. But I'm telling you not to accept an internship. You're better than that. How's Grindreel going? I remember watching the vids on entrepreneurship. I mean, we're 7 months into my own business. Things seem to be going okay. It's gonna keep going, keep growing. What do you think of .dev forcing HTTPS, seeing as so many people use it for local development and don't use HTTPS? I didn't know that was a thing. I don't really think about it too much. You keep switching between courses, tutorials, videos, books, can't focus on one tutorial. It sounds like you get bored. I think that you should address your ability to stay focused when you're bored. And I think boredom it comes from within, right? So your ability to not handle tedious shit, that's a problem. And it doesn't matter the medium. You think you're gonna find something exciting. You need to deal with being bored. How much money have you made from your business? More than when I was a dev. I make more money now doing this than when I was a full-time developer. 100%. And I get to do it how I want, when I want, no boss. It's no brainer. I mean, it took forever to get here, but yeah, of course. I do okay. I don't talk about money that much, so it's not about that. It's about freedom and time spent how you want. But yeah. And I can teach all you guys how to do it too. That's why a brand is everything. Best book you ever read, The Odyssey? It was alright. I like MJ DeMarco's Unscripted. Most of your income come from teaching? Most of my income is split. About 30, 30, 30. Do you follow RSD? You're talking about Real Social Dynamics? I did a while back, not so much anymore. Do you make enough to live how you want? Yeah. I can basically buy whatever I want. I can do whatever. It's fine. Any opportunities for high schoolers? I don't think age. I think you're limiting yourself to age, and it doesn't matter. Database management. Or administration. You're interested in both. Administration, database administration, and management. I think those are pretty similar terms. I would say that management and administration are kind of synonyms, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Is there anything specific, Austin, that you were looking for? No more struggle bus. I mean, it's different kind of struggle bus. Like, I don't know. A great philosopher once said, "Having money is not everything." Well, the phrase, if you're gonna quote me, I guess it would be like, when you don't have money, having money is everything, and when you do have money, it's not. There's a different kind. Like, there's always a little bit of sacrifice and uncomfortableness. It's not about the money to me. It's about providing value. Do you think it's difficult to build a brand without a YouTube? No, actually, I think you can build a brand on LinkedIn right now. It's about freedom, and to have freedom, you need to have money, or you need to have lower costs of living. Money allows freedom, but you don't work for the money. You work to provide value to people. Media. I just read media. I think money is a byproduct of providing value to a lot of people at scale. There's a lot of people in poorer countries that are very happy and have a lot of freedom but don't have a lot of money. It all comes down to perspective. Are you trying to buy everything that you want, or do you just want everything you already have? And for me, I just want everything that I have for the most part. Obviously, I have goals and I want to be better, but that's, you know. You got off an internship as a database admin. You don't know the tools you learn outside the work, so if curious if you have any ideas. Maybe business analyst stuff. If an employer asks you how old you are in an interview, what should you say? Okay, so if an employer asks you how old you are in an interview, that is illegal. So you just say, hey, that's illegal, I'm gonna sue you, and then you make a bunch of money. They're not allowed to ask you how old you are. They're not allowed to ask your race. They're not allowed to ask about your orientation or any of that stuff. Money makes life less shitty, even if it can't buy happiness. I don't think anyone will disagree with that. But after a certain amount, it's like, it comes down to time. Can they ask about your skill level? Yeah, of course they can ask about your skill level, and you can lie about your skill level. Won't they know for your age from your resume, though? They shouldn't. You shouldn't give them your age on your resume. Don't put your birthday. Don't put, you know, when you graduated from college. Don't make it obvious to figure out. Are they allowed to ask for contractors? Yes. Yeah, I think just after a certain point, when you have a certain amount of money, it just comes to it comes down to like how you want to spend your time. Do you want to buy a thing and then just spend your time using that thing, or like that's what it's about. What if you're like 17 and they see you just as a kid? Don't let them treat you like that. Hold yourself up to a higher standard. Don't put when you graduated plus years in jobs. I mean, if you're older, I would probably figure out a way to avoid that. Are they allowed to ask if you're over a certain age? No, that's illegal. Do you file your own taxes? No, I have accountants. I filed my own taxes for a while, but now I have like an official S corp, and like it's Grind Reel LLC is a real company, really exists. It's an S corp, and I have accountants that help me manage payroll taxes and paying myself since my company is in a different state. Yeah, so basically they can't ask about your identity, essentially. They can run a background check on you, but they're not allowed to ask you in the interview. What time do you usually sleep? I'm not, usually like 10-ish. What do you recommend learning on your own to see if there's something for you before joining a boot camp? Do free code camp, build some projects, look at the end projects, Stealth. You just checked your LinkedIn, it looked awesome. LinkedIn is a really good place for this niche specifically, because this niche is about building a brand and building a career and building skills in web dev. So if you want to build a brand as a web developer, LinkedIn is really great. Right now, LinkedIn has really good organic traffic flow. So remember on Facebook, if someone would hit like, it would show up on all your other friends, like your friend liked this, or your friend's friend liked this and commented on this. LinkedIn is very organic right now, and they're not making you pay for that, whereas Facebook makes you pay now. They realize what they had, they make you pay. LinkedIn does not do that. At Josh, have you heard of the UCF coding bootcamp in Florida? That's Trilogy Education. Get that shit out of here. Get that garbage out of my stream. UCF coding bootcamp. If it's University of whatever coding bootcamp, it's Trilogy Education. Get that shit out of here. I can show you. Oh, found it. Here, let me show you. Are you ready? Right here. A Trilogy Education. See how they hide it? You see how they hide the shit? Trilogy Education. That's so true. So they hide it, right? They make it look like it's UCF coding bootcamp. No, it's not. It's Trilogy Education. It's garbage. Get that shit out of here. We're better than that. Come on now. You gotta look for it. What's Trilogy Education? It's garbage. Trilogy Education is a garbage educational boot camp. Basically what Trilogy does is they go to universities around the United States and they say, hey, let's make you a code boot camp, but you don't have to do anything. And in exchange, you'll let us advertise the fact that if they go to this boot camp, they get to put your college name on their certificate. And so basically Trilogy Education has no guarantee. It costs roughly $15,000 or $16,000 or $17,000 to go. And yeah, the people running Trilogy are just shitheads across the board. Go watch my video on Trilogy Education. Basically they have, you can't see how much it costs on their website. And if you sign up for their form, they will call you like 6 times a day to try and get you to sign up. And what else will they do? They have three different phone numbers. $16,000 is not half the price of Lambda. Lambda School is $20,000. Also, Trilogy Education is only 3 months. Lambda School is 9 months, and you learn computer science. So you can go ahead and shit on it if you want, but Trilogy is garbage. So it's just Don't go to any university's coding boot camp. It's Trilogy Education and they're garbage. Don't go. Just look. You just find it. You definitely know about the calling? Yeah, because they call it's like they're like almost like ITT and DeVry. They just call you and over and over and over and they try to convince you to go and that you're going to have a job, and there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee of your money back. Like, don't do it. Do you even have a girlfriend? Do you have another life than code? I had a girlfriend. She moved out today. She packed up her mom and dad came over about 2 hours ago, and they packed up all her stuff and put it in their cars, and then they left. So that was cool. Apparently we're still dating, but I don't know. Maybe I'll see her sometime. Just totally out of the blue. Code is life. Nah. Don't sweat that, man. It happens. How long were you together? 4 years. Be on your purpose. Yeah, dude. I am pretty outcome independent. It's all good. It's weird. Weird. I took some videos of it. I'll show you guys on my phone. You can see, because I'm gonna make another video today, 1 year from today, and I'll just keep them going for however long I do this YouTube thing. Was it awkward? Did they ignore me? Act rich and get Tinder babes? I don't have to act rich. Since you're self-employed, are you using a 401k or a self-employed Roth IRA? No, I'm not putting money into the market. I buy assets. Here you go. I took a video of it because I knew that I was going to need to. Here, let me show you. Here you go. I took a video of my girlfriend driving away. Are you ready for the most depressed thing you've seen all weekend? There's my girlfriend driving away. Bye. Good stuff. Wait, I have other videos of her parents packing some stuff, because I wanted to remember this, right? Like, were there plates being thrown? Not this time. Here, her dad shook my hand, and her dad was like, "Take care," which means like bye forever, right? Did you cry? No, I didn't cry. I'm fine. I got all my emotions out at the gym. I'm all right. We literally had like the perfect relationship. It's absolutely insane. All right, here you go. Here's another vid for you guys. Here's her and her mom and dad walking. Here you go. See? That's her mom, and her dad's got all her stuff there. Her car. Yep. Just packed her stuff. She packed her stuff and left. Did she just spring it on you out of nowhere? So last Saturday she said that she thought the house was like unclean, and I'm like, no, it's not. And then she was like, well, it's unclean and you should come to more family events. And I was like, okay, done, fixed. And then like 3 days later, she was like, I wonder what it's like to live on my own. And I was like, all right. And then she's like, but it's just a theory. I'm just wondering. And then she was like, yeah, I'm going to move out in March. She was like, I'm going to move out in March. And then I was like, nah, if you're already thinking about moving out and there's nothing I can do to, if there's nothing I can do to change your mind, then you can just go ahead and move out. If it was meant to be, she'll come back. What kind of Disney shit is that? I'm good. We're good. Never live with a girl before you marry. Or just don't get married. She found another dude. This was planned months ago. Nah, she didn't find another dude. She doesn't have time. She's too busy. I think that she just got bored. I think that she got bored, right? So like, situations like this is what stoicism is for. Yes, I'm fine. Very stoic, out of my control, right? If it's not in your control, don't worry about it. If it is, do what you can. And that's what I did. And then it was out of my control. She made her mind, you know? I don't know. We had a good relationship. Yeah. Everything was fine. Financially fine. We don't fight. We don't yell. Communicate. Was she a Libra? I don't even think she knows what she is or cares what. Like, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I read a lot of books on Stoicism. The Obstacle is the Way. Everything by Ryan Holiday I've already read. How to Live a Good Life is a good book. Stoicism is my outlook on life and philosophy in general, so it's okay. I'm good. Maybe she was angry. I think maybe she was mad that I have money and I don't spend it on things that she wants. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, of course. I've read Moral Letters from Seneca. Yeah, I've read all this stuff, you know. Yo, man, you need to hit the clubs tonight. No, I'm not going to waste my Saturday night in a club. I'd rather be building shit than mess with some thoughts in a club. Pass. On the shortness of life. Yeah, it's all good. Do you work on open source stuff? Not really. You should watch Coach Red Pill. I don't think that you guys get it. I'm already aware of all that stuff. Bust down Tatiana. I'm already aware of all those colored pills that you're talking about. Alright? It's like Fight Club. People who know what I'm talking about will get the reference. We don't talk about these things. What gym do you go to? It's called Vasa. What's with the meeting ID in the bottom left? Let's see. What's the strongest type of thief? A shoplifter? Yeah, men going their own way. That's how I deal with stuff. I'm good. You read meditations every day. Glad to see another dev. I read The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. That's a good. I think Marcus is a little bit Josh, can we do a junior WordPress developer job search and which ones you'd apply to? You're not going to find a junior WordPress developer job. Get yourself a can of Thought Begone. Thomas Ferris knows. What was the hardest framework library to learn? I don't know. Probably something I had no interest in. Probably like Ruby on Rails. That sucked. I hated it. I still hate it. How did Chris Sean get first dev job in 2 months? I believe all his videos say he got a dev job in 3 months. But basically, this is what happened. Chris Sean went to his interview. The person interviewing him was late to the interview, and they asked him a few things, and they were like, yeah, sounds good, you're hired. That was it. He didn't have a code test or anything like that. He already told me all that. What was your portfolio like before getting your first dev job? It was garbage. It was absolutely garbage. React.js or Vue? For what? Ryan Holiday is okay. You like his newsletter? He basically got lucky. Right time, right place. It happens. Can't be mad about it. You wouldn't be. If it was you, you wouldn't be mad about it. Yeah, Ryan Holiday's alright, but his newsletters can be a little bit up and down. He's like, read these books. And I'm like, these are so boring, Ryan. I don't want to read these. React, Angular, or Vue? Vue is good for starting. React is good for jobs. Angular is good to be full stack. Do you have your portfolio resume somewhere that you can look at? Yeah, they're on my website. You can buy them, help support the channel. You think Vue will explode? Great. A lot of getting jobs is luck in an interview like that. Person steps out, some other guy interviews you. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of just up and down kind of luck that happens in this. Off to code for a couple hours? Alright, Rommel, dude. Take care, my man. You don't think Vue will beat out Angular? I don't think it matters. I don't know why you guys care so much. Just pick one and build something with it. Stop caring about the medium of the build. Just build the thing. Remember the outcome of the project that you're trying to build. Who cares? Just have a project that you're trying to help people with. Like, build an application that solves a problem in the world, and then however you want to build that, go build it. Stop thinking too much into it. That's my 2 cents. That's how I work. How high is the price of living in Utah? It's so much money. It's not like San Francisco or New York, but it's pretty high. Yeah, I think people that just want to program all day, that just love to code, just to program, great. That's more power to you. Maybe you should care. But for me, I'm more about the end goal, the outcome of what we're building, the problem that this thing is solving. It's only high if you own, not rent. I think it's pretty high to rent. I think like $1,000 for 1,000 square feet is eh. Josh, why are you ignoring my girlfriend resume template offers? I should do that. I should get on Tinder, and I should just have a link in my description. Please apply here. Please put how many hours you grind each week. What is the current status of your brand? React, Vue, or Angular? Those will be my 3 questions. Should you learn C or Scratch? Learn C. Kevin, what would you say to a chemical engineering student who wants to intern as a software? You want to save money to switch majors. You don't need a degree to do it either, but I would just say go for it. You can be a software engineer as a chemical engineer. Please make a video on Linux versus Ubuntu versus macOS versus Windows, or you can talk about it now. Linux and macOS are very similar. Linux versus Ubuntu. It's basically the operating system that runs on Linux, or whatever you call it. It's more like Unix versus Windows is what it comes down to. Do devs get mad cow disease? Yes. You started learning Vue, and you're trying to find a project to learn and create. I don't know. What's the blinking background? That thing is it's a light. Is 1,000 hours of practice good enough to apply for a job? Keith, it doesn't matter. A number of hours doesn't matter. No one it's not like a pilot, like where you need 2,000 hours to become certified to fly a 737. It doesn't matter. Your boss's son went to Caltech as a chem engineer. He's now makes 6 figures as a Python developer in his first year out of school. He also lives in California, where 6 figures is not 6 figures. It's more like $50,000, which is in line with a junior person. Think about making a simple React Native app. Is that super tough and time consuming? I don't know where you're currently at. Best practices or getting the job done? I'm more of a get the job done. I'll pay some guy to go back and refactor it. I don't have time for that. I got better stuff to do. I'm solving problems. You can figure out how to solve my code problems. It works for now. Let's go. Let's keep moving forward. Done is better than perfect. How would you recommend learning about... Do you do mentorships locally, or is that another word for your coaching? Locally? I don't know about locally. I've never really met anyone in person. I wouldn't want someone to, like, follow me home. Men, are you learning something new now? Dude, I learn every single day. Klauber says, dude, you're one of the best human beings out there. I don't know about that. I just try to help. Perfectionism is the biggest killer of productivity, yes. Is it fine to say one other person gets to work on projects with you, or would you recommend doing all of your portfolio? Yeah, dude, you want to have all kinds of projects. You want to have projects alone. You want to have projects together. You want to have, like, you want to be a good solo working individual. If you get a remote job, right, you're going to work alone. You want to work in a team if you're working in an office. Someone wants the Discord link. It's in the description. Josh, do you have sensitive nips? It depends on how long I run and what kind of shirt I'm running. So sometimes I have to put some band-aids on them so they don't chafe. Auto shutdown initiated.
Auto shutdown canceled.
You want your 36K back so you can give the government? Cool, bro. Yeah, good question. Quality question. Thanks for contributing that value. Is 30 too late to try to get into the industry? No, not at all. You're in an office working alone? Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. So I would suggest that you try to negotiate remote, because that sucks. That was my last job. Do you have the nuclear codes or something? What was that? That's the lady inside my headset. You want to hear? Here. There's this little lady inside my headset that will say mic on, mic off. You ready? Here we go.
Mic on. Mic off.
Nuclear launch codes.
Activate.
Mic
on.
Nuclear launch codes.
Mic off.
See? Would Lambda School be a good place to start with absolutely zero coding experience or no? Yeah, so Impale, they don't actually let you start with zero coding experience. They have like a little warm-up that you have to do. Do you believe in soulmates? No. College isn't a waste. Your education isn't as valuable as much work as Matthew, this is what I would say to that. I would say don't let school get in the way of your education. That's what I think. What kind of design is that? I don't know. It's the nuclear device. All right, we're activating the launch codes.
Mic on. Mic off.
Oh, Sharina, yeah, you asked about putting more time to the gram. Yeah, I've been a little bit more dedicated to it. I gotta get better at it. Is there a minimum number of projects? About 3. Mic on, mic off. Powering on, powering off. So if I don't play anything, it will be like powering off. Caesar, what up, man? I need to be more dedicated to the gram, Sharina. I've been putting a lot more drone shots, right? That's what you wanted? How do you work in web if you're antisocial? I don't know. It's the same. I don't know. Best 3 projects for portfolio depends on the job you're applying to. Better to go to Lambda or teach yourself web dev? The question is, do you think you have what it takes to be self-disciplined enough and resourceful enough to be able to solve the problems when you get stuck? When you get demotivated, there's no one going to be there to be like, yo, I don't care if you're demotivated, get up and get this shit done. They're going to be there at Lambda School, and they're going to be like, yo, you didn't show up to class today. We were expecting to see your code, and your classmates, were asking you questions, and you're nowhere to be found. Like, you have that societal, like that discipline, that structure. You don't have that when you're self-taught. If you can be self-taught, go for it. I tried. I tried for like 2 months, and I couldn't do it. While still streaming, Craig, I don't know what life is. What's your opinion on diet? Do you have a strict diet, or you know your body type thing? I have pretty sensitive hormones, so I know if I eat something or when I eat something, time of day, how it will affect my mood and motivation mainly. I don't have a super strict diet. I'm just intermittent fast. That works for me. Keeps the blood sugar low. Keeps insulin sensitivity. It's better for my mood. Thanks again for the link. The NIGHTBOT link is broken. Yeah, I need to fix it. Roland, I might have missed it. Least favorite thing about web development? Probably the web development culture. Is the warm-up of Lambda School difficult? It's not super easy, but it's a pretty intense course. They give you everything you need to know to be able to do the warm-up. It's not supposed to be like, oh, that was easy, because that's not learning. Like that, if it was like that, then the industry would be even more saturated, because everyone would be like, oh, well, that was super simple. I didn't have to even think. Klauber, yeah, send it on over. Email it my way. What about the culture do you dislike? I don't like competing for attention from a lead dev or a senior dev. I saw something on LinkedIn this morning of like the owner of the company where like, you have a great team when your devs stay until midnight for a launch on production. And I'm like, who the shit cares? Like, I'm not staying until midnight, and I don't think I'm gonna get any brownie points or get a pay raise. Nothing's actually gonna happen except you make more money. Like, I don't like that kind of like, oh, we worked 60 hours this week and you only worked 40. Like, I don't care how many hours you worked. I got shit done. I don't like that kind of this overworking, sucking the sausage mentality that developers have because everyone's eager to move up or be the best dev or talk about like, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like office politics, and I don't like how people get praised for staying late and working overtime and sacrificing their life to work for someone else and make them a bunch of other money. And the elitism that the senior person, like usually there's like a couple senior dudes at every job or every team, and they're like, this is how we're doing it. This is how we're doing it, and this is how it is because I know best, because I'm a senior, because I've been here longer than you. Like, well, can we just like talk about this? Well, no, this is how we're doing it. We don't got time to talk. Okay, well then why did we have this meeting? I don't like that office type deal.
Auto shutdown initiated.
Oh, there we go. Launch code's activated. At Google, managers will tell you to actually balance your work life and not stay late. You think it depends on workplace? I think it depends on your manager, but I've seen the majority of workplaces are like that. Like, I don't want to stay late on a Friday night to have a stupid Nerf gun fight. I don't care. I don't want to stay late any day. I don't want to come in early any day. I just want to do my job and go home because this is not my life. People treat their dev jobs like it's their life. And I thought I wanted a dev job because of the culture, and it turns out it was the opposite of what I wanted. Oh, I can bring my dog to work. I can come in at 10 and leave at 6. Like, yeah, but then it's dark, and now you have 2 hours before you got to go to sleep again. It's like, I don't know. I thought I would love everything about a dev culture, but I don't. Like, everyone's like, oh, dude, we're homebrewing this weekend. I was like, oh, let's go work out. No, dude, I got to homebrew this new IPA that I just got, you know? Like, I don't give two shits about that. Let's go do some, like, go live. Like, I was just very opposite of, you know, your classic dev culture. I don't read Hacker Noon and all that stuff. Like, there's more to life. I have something I want to build. I build it. I use code, and then that's it. I move on to the next thing. You'll see. You'll see. You guys will see when you get the first job. Either you'll really love it, or you won't. You never heard anyone talk about the workplace or culture like this? Probably because they have a job they're afraid of getting fired from. Would you go for GoDaddy or HostGator? I'd probably go for GitHub. Craig. The homebrew thing is actually ironically hilarious. Yeah, it is. We had like, you know, what are you happy about in your workplace? The video you posted recently seemed to prove you wrong in all the terms of expectation versus reality. There's nothing in a workplace that makes me happy because I don't have the mindset to be an employee. I don't want to climb a ladder. I want to own a ladder. I don't want to climb your corporate ladder. I don't want to go to your stupid meetings. I don't want to do this stupid stand-up. I just want to do what I want to do. And I'm sorry, but take a hike. You know, shove it. I'll do it my way. And I understand that you're going to be like, all right, well, you can take a hike then, Josh. Well, I get that. I get that. Yeah, it's probably not a great mentality to have as an employee, which is why I'm not an employee. Some people just bend on over, you know? And they just do what their boss tells them to do because, you know. You're going to learn vanilla JavaScript before learning the frameworks. Do you think it's worth focusing on Van.js? Do you mean Vue.js? So learn probably React or Angular first. Incompatible. Yes, I'm not very compatible. I think, you know, is it him being, or are you being hacked? Eddie, you're actually being hacked. I would look behind you right now. There might be a clown. I think you should focus on vanilla to a certain degree of like constructors and objects and prototypes and manipulating the DOM with vanilla.js and then move to React. HostGator or GoDaddy? Thanks. I already answered that question. I would say GitHub. What's your opinion on freelancing? Did you ever try? I don't like freelancing too much because I don't like selling time. I don't like working hourly. I definitely don't like salary. That's not how I roll. So freelance for me, I did it, but I never did it for like money. I always did it on a, like, give me free sandwiches for life or something, you know. Do I like Redux? I think it's maybe for a huge scalable application, but I've never really worked that. Where does the sound come from? It comes from my headset timing out because I haven't played music in a minute. What's my opinion on Google Cloud? I don't have one really. Matt says my girlfriend's on the way to my house. I think she's coming over. She said that she left some shoes at my house, so she's got to come pick up some shoes. So that means she needs to be serviced while she's here, and then she can be released back to living her new life. Do you blog? No. Josh, what are your worst habits? I sleep in. I sleep in sometimes. My diet, I slip on my diet pretty often. Not in terms of when I eat, but what I eat. What else? I don't know. I write down what I could do better every day, but I don't know if I have any like some sort of recurring habits. Do you work 7 days a week? I work whenever I want to, how I want to. Josh doing AMS. Obviously. That's the plan. She's gonna come over and get her shoes. Recommend going to sleep. I don't know what you got going on tomorrow. Does having a degree help get your foot in the door? You're doing self-taught. No, not really. We're gonna do some Josh Fluke ASMR. Welcome to the channel. We have a little brush here. Look, I just pull out the brush. All right, are you ready? Let's get that right next to the thing here. All right, so we'll get a little brush. All right, there you go, Thomas. It's like we're painting. It's like Bob Ross. It's like Bob Ross. We're just you know, some happy little trees. This tree right here will be our little secret. No one will know about it. That's what he would say sometimes. I'm like, Bob, you're getting a little creepy there. This is our happy little tree. What else? What other kind of happy little places you got? You don't, you know, that's just your and mine. You guys are great. Thanks for making my Saturday. Thanks for making my Saturday night. I think I'm gonna go lift some weights, do some deadlifts, get some strong, complex lifts in tonight, and then I'm gonna come back, keep scripting out my accessibility video. Bob was OG ASMR. You just gotta beat the devil out of it. That's what he would say, right? I think I'm gonna head out, guys. Thanks for all the questions. We didn't really do that many phone calls this time, but you know, I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow's accessibility video is gonna be good. So have a good Saturday night, guys. Hope you're crushing it. Don't get too lazy because it's the weekend. Compound lifts, yeah, that. I'll see you guys later. I'll do some shout outs. I don't want to be that guy. David, Kassan, Hellgate, Sanic, Burek, Christian, Caesar Morales, thank you for the 5, by the way. Battle Pope, Thomas Aguirre, Thomas Ferris, Roland, Silver King, Prowser, Mohammed, John Ordonez, Flat Earth ASMR, get that garbage out of here. Adrissa, Austin Copeland, Super Mig. What else? Mock, Eddie, you, Moi Moi, that's Spy and Finish. Nick Gurr, okay, what up, Nick? Who else? Peace. Alright, guys, I'm out.